So this week I went to see Murder on the Orient Express, and being an Agatha Christie fan, I was very interested to see how this version would be brought onto the screen. Now, I think it's very good to see Agatha Christie's movies stuff on the big screen, because we don't see that. At last adaptation of an Agatha Christie movie was years ago, but it's good to see her work. Like, we see it on TV, but it's great to see it on the actual big cinema screen, so I think that was good to get her work back on the screen. Now, first of all, the plot. Now, what I was worried about was, from the trailer I've seen, where you had your ones jumping on the train tracks and all, or climbing around, or with the fast-paced music in the trailer, I thought, would this be presented as a psychological thriller action film? And would the classic whodunit element be lost? But I needn't have worried, because the classic whodunit detective element was still there. And the plot, I find, it flowed really well. The movie's about, what, an hour and about 2 hours, and and it flowed really well. Like, I mean, there was a good sort of build up to the murder itself, but there couldn't be too much, because as we all know about the important conclusion, so there couldn't be too much of a, so there had to be a sort of a build up. But like, from when Ratchet steps in the train, you get a sense that there is a sense of dislike around it, but we don't know why just yet, and I felt that was really well delivered and all, and so I thought it flowed really well. And then the process of the investigation, I thought that was really done very well. I thought it flowed really well, and it showed, like, as he questioned each suspect, what were they trying to hide? What were they not telling you? And it also captured their sense of isolationism and claustrophobia, being trapped on this train with Poirot, wanting to know which one of them is the killer. But as we all know, it was all of them. So from someone who's actually read the book, and sort of knew what to expect story-wise, it was interesting to see how these characters trying to mislead Poirot and to lead him every which way all around the houses to prevent him from learning the actual truth of what happened. Now, of course, the ending, I love the ending. I love the way the ending was done cinematically or directly. Like, you have them in the tunnel, all sitting down, and he's walking in front of them. It's like a man presenting evidence to a jury, which I thought was a very interesting. So it's like a man presenting evidence to a jury, and I thought that was just very well done. Now, in terms of characters, I think I really loved all the characters, like Daisy Ridley, and now I was worried about Josh Gad, because Josh Gad is more a comedy actor. Could he do something serious like this? And as it turns out, I needn't have worried. Josh Gad did a great job as McQueen, and he's actually one of my favourite characters in the movie. I really liked him as McQueen. He portrays someone who has sort of a drinking problem and has something very dark to hide, so I really enjoyed that. Okay. Kenneth Branagh as Hercule Poirot. Now, the moustache I thought was a little bit daft looking, but aside from that, I felt that the movie really captured who Poirot was. Like, for example, the first scene is the man having to bring the eggs constantly to Poirot until he's satisfied with the size and the time on the cooking, and then he has his little ruler, he measures them, and like when he started doing that, I was like, I nearly had like a little Agatha Christie fanboy scream. I was like, oh my god, he's doing the egg thing. And it still also captured, like, you would say, your tie's not straight, or don't do that. I didn't like the start of the thing where he stepped in the shit and then he stepped on his other foot in the shit just to keep the flow of it. I thought that was a little bit weird. But I also loved how it also captured throughout the film his sense of right and wrong. Like, I mean, that's one of the things about Poirot. He's a detective. He avenges the dead. Well, not as such avenges, but he fights to find out who's responsible for killing someone. And even though in this case to him it wasn't about avenging Roche, it was about finding out who killed him despite all the horrible things this man had done, I still felt it captured that very well. And especially at the end, because when Poirot uncovers the truth at the end that, spoiler alert, they all did it, he's left with, and when he discovers why, like, he's left with a bit of a dilemma, like, should he turn them in? Or should he do the right thing and turn them in, or should he let them away with it? He's faced a huge dilemma, and I think that was a very interesting thing. Like, he faces this huge dilemma and he's not sure what to do, but in the end he decides to go with what his heart tells him, because he feels maybe he should let that happen. So he breaks one of his own little rules. He lets the killer away with the people away with it, and lets them go on and live their lives, because the people in that scenario were badly destroyed by the death of Daisy Armstrong and what Rochelle did. So he lets them move on. They've cleansed their lives of all those skeletons in the closet, so he gives them a chance to move on, live their lives without all that dark, without the shadows of the past hanging over them. Okay, and another interesting little note is, during the film, Poirot is reading the book Charles Dickens' A Tale of Two Cities. Now, throughout he laughs at it, and I thought, that's not a comedy, why is he laughing at that? Because I've never read it, but I know it's not a comedy, but I think maybe it's just him sort of mocking the English way of things. But one of the interesting things, it's A Tale of Two Cities, which is about the French Revolution, which is about, in the French Revolution, the poor people, the people stormed against the monarchy and killed them. So it's actually an interesting little thing in there. It sort of fringes on what Murder on the Orient Express is about, you know, people grouping together to punish the guilty. So I thought that was very clever. And I think for people who maybe don't know the story, maybe that was a little hint. So I thought that was very clever. Now, what other notes? I love the cinematography. I love the capturing of the of the start and opening scenes in the city and then going through the snow-capped mountains and all. I loved the cinematography. It was so, yes, it was lavish, but it was beautiful and so colourful and bright. And I loved how the flashbacks were in black and white. I loved that. Especially the ending scene where you see the flashback of them killing him. You know, black and white, you see these people just killing him. You see their emotions as they make this man pay. So I just thought that was very well done. I loved all that. So, guys, thanks for watching my review of Murder on the Orient Express. And stay tuned for my upcoming film reviews of what else is to be released. So, bye!